When it comes to achievements in Halo, there's something really special when you pull off an incredibly hard challenge and then you get rewarded with an achievement. And as we've talked about on this channel, Luke and I are trying to get every single achievement in Halo the Master Chief Collection before Halo Infinite comes out, and we're kind of running out of time. Now in the past, we've done a video where we looked at some of the hardest achievements across Halo. We looked at things like LASO and Vidmaster type achievements, but as we've been going through the list of achievements and checking them off as we painstakingly get every single achievement, some of the achievements are absolutely awful to try to get. And for the sake of this video, we're not going to be looking into things like LASO achievements. Yes, they are the incredible pinnacle of Halo challenges, but for this video, we wanted to look more at the types of achievements that are in MCC that are literally just a hassle beyond any practicality that could go into this achievement even warranting its own existence. So now that we have really narrowed down our list of achievements to just a few left to go, I think it's pretty safe to say that Luke and I have a pretty well-rounded perspective when it comes to which achievements are actually the worst. Like, for instance, the 15 Spartan Ops related achievements. Now, we've talked about Spartan Ops before in the past. It was a very ambitious idea that just wasn't really executed the best way. But one thing that was executed worse than Spartan Ops was definitely the way that the achievements for it were laid out. Essentially, the existence of just one single achievement in the Spartan Ops category pretty much ruins the entire experience if you are a completionist trying to 100% MCC. Now, in general, each Spartan Ops level takes approximately, give or take in many circumstances, 20 minutes or so to complete. Then there's 10 episodes, each with 5 chapters within it. And when it comes to achievements, you get one achievement for each of the 10 episodes you complete, along with achievements for beating all of Spartan Ops, beating it on normal difficulty or higher, beating it on heroic difficulty or higher, and beating it on legendary difficulty or higher. But then they had to throw in one extra achievement, which is beating it on legendary difficulty solo. So in general, whether you are a fan of Spartan Ops or not, you're required to play through Spartan Ops an entire time legendary solo, a game type that was intended for 4-player co-op as the main selling point of the game. It was the successor to Firefight, and Spartan Ops is one of those experiences that really is only something most fans play through maybe once, and that's being pretty generous. I feel like a lot of people experienced the story of Spartan Ops just by watching all the cutscenes on YouTube, just because of the sheer length that it takes to get through it and the repetitiveness of the gameplay. But the fact that they went ahead and added this legendary solo achievement kind of discourages players from playing this game co-op the way that it was originally intended. If you're a player planning on sitting down to do all of Spartan Ops, likely you're going for the achievements, and either you can choose to do it co-op with a friend on any difficulty, but then still have to go back again and do it legendary solo, or you can just jump right into it and slowly chip away at finishing this achievement. And while you do get to respawn in Spartan Ops, they definitely did not scale the amount of enemies down for just one player. So a lot of the times there'll be a ton of grunts and elites, and then they just throw in 4 extra hunters for you to just go at it. And we've done a whole video where we talked about Spartan Ops and how they recycle the same maps and how it was ambitious in some ways, but this achievement definitely isn't highlighting the good parts of Spartan Ops. Okay, then there's a bunch of achievements in Halo MCC related to killing a bunch of specific enemy classes. For instance, killing 1,000 grunts, killing 1,000 brutes. That's all good and dandy, but 2 of them stand out to be even more frustrating than all of the rest, specifically the killing 1,000 knights and killing 1,000 watchers. Now, the main thing that's really frustrating is it's not like the other Halo games where you have the luxury of killing all of these enemies across multiple games and racking up a kill count and progress towards this achievement just through regular playthroughs. The knights and watchers are restricted specifically to Halo 4 and Spartan Ops, and Luke and I have played through Halo 4 multiple times and did our legendary solo runs, and we each played through Spartan Ops solo, and we still didn't have 1,000 knights, and we just barely got over halfway with the watchers. So this is going to end up being a grind where we're just going to have to replay Spartan Ops levels over and over and over again to get the watchers achievement done and the rest of what we have left on the knights. And it's not like Halo Reach, where when you are doing the same, where you have to get 1,000 skirmisher kills, which is another class that is exclusive to just Halo Reach. You can load it up in Firefight, manipulate some of the settings, and have a fun time just blasting the 1,000 skirmishers in maybe an hour. You don't get that same luxury here, and it definitely is a lot more frustrating to get this achievement. Okay, so this next one is one that probably a lot of you have already gotten if you're an Easter egg hunter in the realm of Halo, but there's one achievement for every single audio log in Halo 3 ODST, and there's like 30 of them. Now, on the surface, just going for all the audio logs isn't actually that bad. The tricky part, though, is getting the achievement for getting every single audio log, which a lot of the times, if you're not doing it solo and doing it in a co-op playthrough, you pretty much have to do it in one sitting, or risk the high chance of something going wrong, the save getting glitched, and someone not getting the achievement, which means you have to go and find all the audio logs when you're on Mombasa streets, but then also play through the campaign all the way to Data Hive in preferably one sitting. And even then, there's still a chance that the achievement will bug, and one person in your group just might not get the achievement. This actually happened when we were going through and getting this achievement for Luke, where we brought Tails along too, and after we were done getting all the audio logs, we played through the campaign, got to Data Hive, got that last audio log, and Tails got the achievement, and Luke did not. For whatever reason, one of the audio logs, like audio log 22 or something, it just never logged for Luke. And then just randomly, like a week later, the achievement popped up for Luke. It was really weird. But even in my first run through of getting the audio logs for myself, I didn't realize that I had to play through the game to get to the audio logs. I thought I could just skip ahead, and I erased all of my progress and I had to restart and do it all over again. And this one was just an absolute pain for something that should be relatively fun. Okay, overall, we love the par time, par score, and speedrun legendary under 3 hour achievements. They are incredibly challenging, but really fun to go through and get, and then go back and help your other friends get the achievements too. But I do have to give a little shout at two specific levels where I feel like the par times are just not fair in the times that are given. Like for instance, the par time in every level across most of the MCC is more or less pretty straightforward. It's kind of the time that it expects you to complete the level on if you're going at a regular, slightly faster pace than what a first playthrough may look like. But that's not the case with Halo 2's Regret, which literally, if you're going to get the par time completed on this one, involves you knowing a skip to bypass the entire first area and make it onto the gondola early, or pretty much you're going to be walking up to that boss fight with little to no time at all. Way back when I was getting the par time for this one, I had no idea of the skip and tried this level over and over and over again, and there's really not much you can do. There's so many scripted sequences that just take up time when you're riding on the gondola, riding on the underwater elevators, riding on another gondola, where you just are kind of stuck, not able to really save time. So you end up having to do tricks to save the time. Another one that is a little bit even harder because there aren't as many tricks to save time is Halo 4's Reclaimer. This level just seems to never end, and you only have 20 minutes to get through the whole level, and it's a hustle if you're gonna pull this off. You probably need to jump in with 3 or 4 friends in co-op and just try to go as fast as possible, and even then you're going to be cutting it really close. Okay, and then we're not going to complain too much about skulls and other type of little treasure hunting Easter eggs that are for the most part really fun, but I can see how some people would get really frustrated with the I would have been your daddy skull, because it's pretty much just random RNG. You have supposedly a 1 in 7 chance of the skull spawning in when you load up on Outskirts. Now there's guides and theories all over the place as if you trigger these checkpoints in a certain order, you have a higher chance of it spawning, but it only spawns some of the time. Hey, maybe you're lucky and you got the skull no problem, but for me, and later on for Luke, it was a headache of just resetting over and over and over and over again until the skull finally just randomly showed up. I mean, hours and hours of just hoping the random chance of the skull appearing would happen, and there might be some truth to the loading sequences or the checkpoint order, but it's definitely not as surefire as some of the guides out there say it is. Okay, and then just to double down on the fact that this list is different than a hardest Halo achievements list, we have the achievement that you get for completing the Master Chief Saga. Now, in general, if you're going for 100% achievements in Halo, you're going to be playing through all of the campaigns over and over and over again, checking every nook and cranny for Easter eggs. I mean, we spend so much time playing Halo in general that we actually found the playlist for the Master Chief Saga literally one of the most frustrating things, because we just have to play through Halo again, which isn't too bad, but just just having it narrowed down into a playlist is kind of a marathon, where we like the freedom of just being able to kind of pick up a Halo game, play through it, and then just jump away and play through another one. We've already completed all of the Halo games multiple times front to back, and just not in this playlist. Then to make things even worse is a lot of the times when we enjoy playing co-op, we jump on with our other friends like Dim and Tails, and we'll play through Halo 3 and sometimes even Halo 4. But for whatever reason, the Master Chief Saga playlist restricts you to only having 2 players accessible in the playlist, even if you've passed the point of Halo 2 and you're in the levels of Halo 3 and 4 that allow for 4-player co-op. The Master Chief Saga playlist does not allow you to have 4 players even that much later, so it's just kind of one extra chore of an achievement. It's not hard, it's not a miserable time, but to get the achievement done, you're going to have to allot quite a bit of time for something that you've already probably done multiple times already. Okay, then there's this little matchmaking related achievement called Dominion. And for how much Luke and I play Halo, you would think that we were much further along on this achievement progress than we are currently right now. But essentially, to get this achievement, you just have to get 100 legendary medals across all of Halo matchmaking. The problem is, the legendary medals themselves are incredibly challenging to get on their own, let alone having to stack 100 of these in your entire career stats as a Halo player. Okay, so to get a better grasp of this, let's look at what is classified as a quote-unquote legendary medal. You have medals like Perfectionist, which is where you have to go an entire game with 15 kills and not die. Literally like one of those once in a blue moon type games, at least for a player that's average. You can get an unfriggin' believable to count towards this achievement, which is where you somehow have to get into a game where you're able to get 40 kills and do so without dying once. You could get an extermination, which is where you have to kill 4 players in rapid succession and have the entire other team eliminated. Maybe something you could do if you're really good in infection once in a while. Maybe? Oh, or you could just go ahead and get yourself 100 Killionaires and you'll get this legendary medals achievement easily too, which is essentially you have to kill 10 enemies in rapid succession with only 4 seconds in between each kill. I've literally never had that happen to me in matchmaking. So then there really leaves just 2 medals that you may have a better chance grinding for to get progress towards this achievement. And that is, of course, the triple double, which is where you have to complete a game with 10 kills, 10 assists, and 10 headshots, or the Steak-tacular medal, which is the one that I've been going for the most, which is winning a game where your team is in the lead by 20 kills or more. Now, I think it's safe to say this achievement isn't something that just randomly pops up for players. To get this achievement, you have to be trying to get these medals actively and grinding away, because just 100 legendary medals accidentally happening means that you must play Halo non-stop for multiple years on end. But even if you are seeking out these medals every time you jump into matchmaking, if you happen to get into a game where, for instance, you're maybe playing big team battle and your team just swamps and wins, that counts as just 1% towards your progress. Triple double sounds like the easiest one to rack up in multiplayer, but I constantly find myself running into the problem where either I'm not getting 10 assists or I'm not getting 10 headshots. I can jump into SWAT and get the 10 headshots easily, but I'm not getting assists when I play SWAT. It's just like a one-shot kill game. I do feel like I've made some progress doing this in Halo 4, seemingly is getting me the closest to regularly getting triple doubles, but it's nowhere near consistent. This achievement alone has led a ton of players online to come up with different strategies for cheesing the achievement, and I really can't blame people who try to come up with different ways for getting this achievement, because getting it legitimately is just so extra. Right now, both Luke and I are sitting around halfway done with this achievement, and we still don't know exactly what we're going to do yet when it comes to completing this achievement, but if anyone has advice, please let us know. Okay, so this is another achievement that was absolutely awful, but the Environmentalist achievement is just so unbelievably frustrating. Essentially, to get this achievement, you have to get 100 Environmentalist kills in Halo 2 Anniversary. This one is absolutely insane. So there's 2 ways you can get an Environmentalist medal, one of them being shooting the hanging ice on lockout and actually killing a player with with the icicles, or you happen to load up on one of 3 maps that has fusion coils, and then you kill enemy players with the fusion coil. And this has to be done in matchmaking. This isn't a custom game type achievement. This achievement 100% is just completely out of the question and broken. I strongly believe 99% of the players who have this achievement had to find some different way to get this achievement rather than just playing Halo 2 Anniversary in rotation over and over and over and over again, hoping to get lockout and then hoping that you can get an ice kill. And matchmaking composition doesn't let you just single out one level, so a lot of the time if you're trying to go for this achievement, you can't even get lockout to pop up. It's just an RNG chance. Then there's an achievement like Party Pooper, which is where you have to get 250 Killjoy medals. Now, for the most part, this achievement is just challenging because you're completely reliant on other players doing just well enough to get a killing spree, but you being just well enough to end their killing spree. It's pretty much random, but the fact that you have to get 250 of these is another one that we're kind of just grinding away at, hoping to rack up those Killjoy medals as we play multiplayer over and over again. This can also be said for some of the other achievements that have been absolute grinds, like having to get 500 grenade kills is actually way more than it seems like when you first look at the achievement. I mean, I use grenades all the time, but actually finishing off kills with grenades doesn't come as regularly as me using a grenade to pop someone's shields and finish them off afterwards. But these are just our picks on the achievements that felt like the worst achievements. We felt like getting these achievements were more of just doing a chore rather than a real challenge, like the incredibly difficult LASO runs we've been chipping away at. But maybe we're completely wrong on this, and if you disagree with us, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, or if we missed an achievement that you've just felt like is a nightmare, or you can relate to one of these achievements that maybe you're working on or worked on. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. I actually am curious to see what other people's experiences have been with some of these achievements. Seriously, it's not like the generic, hey, leave a comment. I mean, don't get me wrong, the interaction is good, but I do actually want to know what you guys think. Okay, that's it for today. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more videos like this. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.